that's what has happened. Like people want to do things outside, in the outside world, before they do the work themselves. Okay, one should have the maturity and the patience to actually do the work oneself more first, before, like, which is another part of not being a brat. Like there are different words we can use for, like, the word child is a good word. Child means innocence. Okay, child means the word kid in English. Kid means a brat. Kid means a person who will cry and who demands things and all of that. Like, so we have to stop being a kid and being discover the inner child. Okay, the child is different from a word kid. Like, okay, so we have to separate those two terms. And the brattiness and stuff is only involved with kids, not with children. Are the ones, children will have questions like, oh, where am I? What is all this? What is all this thing? That is childlikeness. Okay, that is, kids will have like, I want that, this thing, I want that toy, I want that, this thing. That's kiddishness. Okay, so there's a difference between kiddishness and childlikeness. Okay, there's a huge, yeah. So that childlike, being childlike is the first step for people right now, since they're in such a kiddish state, that to become the child is the
But
most important transformation.
all those stages are defined
Yeah,
to us physically, so we get stuck in the physical realm, and then we get to 18
yeah,
years old. We're adults. For us in Canada here, it's 18, so you get an adult. Now you can go to the bars, drink. All this is all physical. It's all to get us stuck, really, to really not
yeah,
grow up, and to break our wings, and to really everything that is, I think, that too much stuck in the physical realm and in
yeah.
the matrix,
And
like.
no, it is a fault of obviously parents and kids everywhere. Like, like parents allow their kids to stay kiddish and bratish. Okay, they don't plug it at that time. They don't have the discipline themselves,
Yeah,
so they can't
that's
put the
it.
discipline
The
on
parents are confused themselves.
yeah, they don't have the discipline themselves within themselves, so they can't put that onto the kids, because there's a lack of discipline themselves in themselves. So so that it is not nipped in the bud, it should be nipped itself. From that point, that kiddishness should be curtailed. And it is the responsibility obviously of the parents who have given that birth and who has brought that thing in there, to make sure that discipline happens. But that does not happen, and because they don't use the discipline themselves. So that's called like babies making babies, that you know like and and then it carries on, like you
That's
know
really what it
like,
is. That's really
yeah,
what it
yeah,
is. We laugh, but that's
yeah,
what it is. That's a fact. That's a fact. And sometimes people have problem facing fact. It seems to be a big thing to grow up in this world and taking responsibility,
yeah.
because that's
Because
why
kid
we
still has
have
an
the.
ego,
Huh?
because people have problem facing that, because the kid still has an ego. Kid, even it's a kid, it still has an ego.
Yeah.
Like, so like it doesn't want to face facts. Like, if you tell a kid, like, if you eat this or if you drink Pepsi, it'll harm you, it doesn't want to. It's I like it, that's all. It just says,
Yeah.
like, I like it, that's all. I don't care. Like, I mean, it's in that, it's in that state of awareness. So like like uh
That's
getting to, if you connect with nature, you automatically have the child within rise and grow. Because then you'll say, like, oh, what is all this? What are all these stars? Where am I? What is this? What is this realm? Who am I? What am I here for? All of these questions arise from actual childlikeness.
exact.
So yeah. So being a child is good, being a kid is no good. I mean, there has to be like a differentiation between the two things. And that's where body discipline and all of that has to come from the parents. And it had to be, earlier it was the gurus and the parents. They were supposed to be the people who imparted that to you, so that what you have to do and what you can't be like.
Yeah.
And if from a childhood, if these kind of things are properly, a person becomes 18, then 18 is a stage where your brain is fully formed. Your physical brain is fully formed. You have reached that state. From there you can do more conscious stuff, because your brain is actually fully formed. Okay, now you are ready to take the next spiritual step. Actually, that is the perfect age. Instead of like going to drink or whatever, like, that is, your body is fully formed, your brain is fully formed, and you are ready for that next step. So like, but if your like whole train happened in that way, if you have been disciplined up from age of 4 or 5 to 18, those 13 years, then only you can enforce that discipline at that age. And otherwise it becomes more and more difficult as time passes on for people to change, because they get too stuck in their bratty ways. And even the speech, I find, like, of people, like especially in America and stuff, and all these is so bratty. they always speak like, I don't like that. Like, I mean, it's so, even the speech is so bratty, like of kids, or even like at any age. And then when they, and like even in age 25, they're still speaking like that. Actually, their speech is still the same. Like, it's all about whining, moaning, complaining kind of. And all the media and sitcoms and all of that, they promote more and more of that, and people follow that. And like, it's a vicious cycle. Like,